Hello yogis, and welcome to today's yin practice. So today we're going to focus on finding and feeling into range of motion in the hips, but we're not going to do it through motion. We're going to do it through stillness at different angles in the hips. My name is Jill Entiknap, and I'm the lead trainer and founder of Yogi Institute, an online yoga school and studio. And I'm super happy to have you here with me in this online studio. For today's practice, I recommend having a couple blocks handy. If you don't have blocks, you can always use folded up towels, blankets. You could use books or shoe boxes, just anything that has some, a little bit of height to it. And then I also recommend having a blanket. So I'm actually seated on my blanket right now. So if you need to pause this and go get a couple props, feel free to do that and then come back and meet me on your mat. We're going to start today's practice with a little focused mind practice. So let's ground down into our sit bones and get nice and tall through the crown of the head. You can always take your blocks and place them underneath your knees. I really like to do that because it just really helps. It almost feels like my sit bones are floating, or there's just less pressure on the body when the blocks are underneath the knees. You can flip your palms, palm facing down as you close down your eyes. And just allow that internal gaze to focus on the third eye. So the space in between the eyebrows. And as you draw that gaze inward to that third eye, start to become aware of your breath. Feel your inhale expand, get tall. And feel your exhale release as you sink a little bit more into the floor. Feel your inhale expand and feel your exhale release. Taking a moment here as we open up our practice to give ourselves permission to slow down. Slowing down, especially in our modern world, is not always easy. But that's what today's practice is really about, is slowing down. Slowing down the body, slowing down the mind, and allowing for that internal connection. Now, as we open up through the hips, it's said that the hips are where we can hold emotion. So just know throughout today's practice, if there are some emotions that come to the surface of your awareness, that you're in a safe space to feel, to examine, and to heal. One of the phrases that I love is, you have to feel to heal. When we repress or push things away, we do not heal them. So as we slow down, get intentional, and open up through the hips, we create the space and the time for us to allow ourselves to feel. Let's flutter the eyes open and bring the knees wider as you bring the soles of the feet together, finding your butterfly pose. So if you have those blocks or folded up towel or pillows, you can just keep them underneath the knees. And we're going to bring the hands to the shins and inhale as you shine your chest forward, and exhale as you round the spine back. Really press that spine back. And inhale as you shine the chest forward, and exhale as you round your spine back. Moving nice and slow to open up to today's practice, and press it back. Linking your breath to your movement, moving with your breath, and press the spine back. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. And let's come through center, get nice and tall, and take a really gentle twist to the right. Staying tall through the spine. Maybe you gaze over that right shoulder. And then come back through center. Let's inhale and exhale, twist to the left. Stay nice and tall. Take a couple deep breaths. Maybe you gaze back over that left shoulder. And let's come back through center. Take a moment, just kind of flap out the knees. And shift yourself onto your knees. Take your blocks, place them forward, and we're going to come first into a lunge forward. So just step that right foot forward. Have your blocks handy so that you can lean into the blocks. Shift forward with the hips, sinking the hips forward to a point where you can feel some really nice length through the left side, through the side that is straight. And as you find that sensation in the body, allow yourself to pause. I encourage you to close down your eyes and allow yourself to breathe. Let the breath be that focal point, feeling in to that rhythm of the breath. You may feel some release in the body as we're here for a certain amount of time. Now, we want to think of that front leg. So right now, we're straight forward. Start to heel toe the foot out wider and point it toward maybe a 45-degree angle. You can shift the blocks so that you're really able to sink to that angle. Sinking forward into that angle. And maybe you notice that the sensation changes as the angle changes. You can keep the upper body squared to the knee. Let's shift the hips back, straighten out through that leg, keeping that angle. Feel that release, feel that relief through the left hip. And I'm going to change the angle of my body, but you can stay as you are. Now we're going to take that right foot and point it 90 degrees out from the hip socket. Have your blocks and bend into that hip. So you want the foot pointed straight out from that hip socket. So we're really finding, like I said, that range of motion through the different angles in our lunge and the different angles of our feet. Take a couple more deep breaths here. Let the breath continuously anchor you back into your body. And then let's straighten out through that leg. Shift the hips back. Really feel that change in the left hip. Sink back into that foot. Start to heel toe the foot all the way back to center so that we come back into that original posture. Sink the hips forward, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. These longer holds are really benefiting our connective tissue, like our joints, ligaments, tendons, and fascia. Let's place the hands down on the floor. Shift that right foot, right hip back. Flex your toes to your face. And bring that right knee underneath your hips. Find your tabletop position. And let's shift the hips to the right, the left, and forward. So find some circles with the hips. And let's shift to the other side. Bringing that left foot straight forward. Sink the hips forward. Find those blocks. Really imagining the angle of the femur coming out of the hip socket. So the leg coming out of the hip. You want that nice straight forward angle. And sink the hips forward. Feeling the length through the right side. Letting the sensation draw you in and getting connected, getting intimate with the sensations in the body. Doing our best to not let the knee come out and just keeping that knee straight forward. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then heel toe that foot to that 45 degree. Take the blocks so that you can square your upper body to that leg. Sink into it, sink into that angle. And come back to your breath. Take a few more deep breaths here, pressing forward into the hips, into the knee. And then from here, we're going to heel toe that foot out. Again, I'm going to change the angle of my body and bring the blocks with you and bend into that knee as the toes point straight out at a 90-degree angle. Let's straighten out through that leg, sink the hips back. And bring ourselves back forward into that low lunge. So you want that knee back straight out of the hip socket. That back knee is straight out of the hip socket. And then sink the hips back. Feel into that half split. Really nice hamstring stretch. Bring that left leg back. Find your tabletop position. Find your tabletop. Shift your hips to the left, back to the heels, right and back forward. Finding those hip circles to the left. Last piece here, let's open the knees up wide, feet come a little bit wider, lower down onto your forearms, finding your frog. If your knees feel sensitive here, ensure that that blanket is underneath the knees. You can sink your hips back to your heels, so this is frog pose. You can draw your belly button to your spine. This can tend to be a pretty high sensation posture, so we won't be here too long. Press yourself up, bring the toes together, then the knees together. Let's turn ourselves around, and we're going to end our practice today with the soles of the feet together, knees wide, lowering down onto your back. That blanket can be placed underneath the hips, and you can always have the blocks underneath the knees. We're going to utilize this reclined butterfly pose as our final resting posture. So we'll be here for 3 minutes. Just close down your eyes and come back to your breath. Filling the torso and letting go. You can tuck your chin to your chest to create length through the spine. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here. Feel your inhale expand. And your exhale release. Again, feel your inhale expand. And your exhale release. Bring your knees together. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees. Gently rock from side to side. Let's bring hands onto knees. Do some circles with the knees, bringing them apart and together, apart and together. Change direction, together and apart, together and apart. Grab the backs of the legs, rock yourself up, and find that easy seat that we started class. Close down your eyes, let your palms rest on your knees, get nice and tall from the sit bones through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen from the tailbone through the crown. And a full breath out. And again, deep breath in. Full breath out. Let's press our palms at heart center and take a moment to thank our hips for all of the awareness that they offered throughout today's practice, but even more so, how they carry us through our lives and all that they do. The hip is a very complex joint, and I often feel that we really take it for granted until it really inhibits our mobility. Doing practices like we did today can really help keep the hips healthy and having that full range of motion in the hip. If you enjoyed this practice, come back to it. If you felt really tight, know that this practice over time will continue to open and increase that mobility. The light, the love, the wisdom in me sees, honors, reflects, and encourages the light, the love, the wisdom in you. Namaste. Again, my name is Jill Enticknath, the lead trainer and founder of Yogi Institute, an online yoga school and studio. If you enjoyed this practice, be sure to favorite it, save it, share it. If you know someone in your life that you feel would really benefit from it, feel free to send it to them as well. And know that you can come back to it as often as you feel called. I hope to see you again on your mats very, very soon. And until then, may your light be your guide.